Tier 5. Top 4 levels. Hi Thomas. Reference to square root of -1. First up is the Citadel Basement by ThatEntityPerson with a score of 75. When I originally played this level for my channel, I really didn't like it. My opinions on this level have changed dramatically over time though. The main reason was because these spike jumps. Timing these could be quite scary to do properly. At least these can't despawn. I can't tell you how many times I died during that initial section. The music remix here of the Wily Fortress team is wonderful though. Just need to wait for the next one to spawn in. I wish the spawn rate for these were a bit faster. And the enemies here aren't too punishing, they're fairly weak. If you take too long, you have to wait for the next one to spawn in. Of course, you can always just use the rush jet as well. Frankly, I'm making this stage look a lot easier than it actually is. It's slower paced and you have to pay close attention to what's going on, so you don't fall into the spikes. But frankly, it's on the fairer side. Initially, when I went through it during my original Let's Play, I went way too harsh on it. That's why I feel the hardest parts of the stage are the first section and the final section. This stage kinda suffers from a reverse difficulty curve, mainly because of the initial section, spike jumps and the gut slips holes. Real Hunter was planned for the level but was scrapped due to time constraints. That would have been fun to face, hopefully without holes in the gut slips. Next up in third place is Neon Gravity by Friendly Dictator, with a score of 75.6. And the main gimmick here is that these portals will move around your projectiles. They'll cause them to orbit around it, and it also applies to the enemy projectiles. Remember when I was talking about how the engine has a hard shot limit? That's what I mean, I can't fire anymore. Thankfully, you can quickly despawn your projectiles by switching your weapons, or by opening up your menu. Now we need to use the arcing properties of our projectiles to open up this door by hitting the switch, or rather by destroying the switch block. One charge shot will also do the trick. Thankfully, these black holes will not harm you, or wormholes, whatever they're called. Now the next gimmick of the stage. The gravity bending properties of those black holes also applies to these rings. And yes, this is an 8-bit remix of Take On Me. And no, you cannot use special weapons to make this easier. Time for the first mini-boss battle, the Moon. It became an optional boss fight in MaGMML 2, along with Glassman and Birdo. That med is kind of hard to hit. I'd rather just use the Russia to jump over it. Yep, those are super black holes. They'll absorb the black hole bomb. Kokorone, that's the one. Oh, this mid tool was no problem whatsoever because of the black hole. Friendly Dictator. Overall, this felt like the first true Tier 5 level. Good aesthetics and music, and a nice, unique, unifying gimmick overall. We even have a custom mini-boss and custom boss fight, Groovity Man. When I say custom boss battle, I mean completely custom. I know the Wily Archives boss battles by Wrecking Programmers, they also sort of count, but they take heavy inspiration and replicate the patterns from the original Wily Fortress bosses, but this one feels completely unique, and combines uses of all the unique mechanics added in this stage. Yeah, Gravity Man is from MaGMML 2, this is Gravity Man, sorry. What a wonderful level. And this was the first ever MaGMML 1 level ever submitted. Next up in second place is Mega Man World by kumuhmuh with a score of 80.80. Snow Empire's favorite, and honestly I felt this level is overrated. These bolts are for buying E-tanks, M-tanks, extra lives, as well as various upgrades. Say hello to Super Mario World and MaGMML. It's not as an extensive change as the secret Mario World level in MaGMML 2, but it's nice. The translation of enemies into MaGMML was done pretty nicely, and the graphics look pretty nice. From what I heard, Brickman, Flashman 85 is done scoring 30 of the levels, but that means there are at least 150 levels left to go, so MaGMML 3 will probably not be released in this year, next year probably. These Hammer Shield Joes should have been nerfed a bit in terms of how much health they have. Not to mention we have all the post-game content and the Neo Pit of Pits. It's gonna last for quite a while. Ah, Reznor, there was actually a funny glitch you could pull off, which I won't showcase here, but I will showcase in the arena. If it still exists here, that is. It gets faster and faster as you destroy its allies. The Charging Chucks, one of the most durable enemies in this game, same as they were back in Mario World. True. MaGMML 2 was a marked improvement over MaGMML 1 in many regards, and I'm hoping MaGMML 3 is the same. Maybe the jump between MaGMML 3 and MaGMML 2 won't be as great as the jump between 2 and 1, but hopefully there'll still be a jump. True, we'll have more mediocre levels. Quantity doesn't equal quality. But hey, one of the reasons why I like MaGMML 3 is it acts like a test bed for level designers, so they can have their levels graded and ranked to make sure that they can understand how to improve their craft, and what ideas work and don't work. The same applies to Mega Man Maker, but it's in a more formalized setting, plus you have a lot more freedom to add new stuff. Tango Coil and Tango Jet. I will say that this level is a bit longer than usual, about the length of 2 Mega Man stages, but it's still fun. It feels unique enough, and it pays a nice homage to Super Mario World. Checkpoint. It nicely adds the enemies from Super Mario World with close enough Mega Man equivalents. And honestly does a much better job compared to that Super Mario Bros. 3 level in MaGMML 2 and that Mario World remake in MaGMML 2, the secret stage. It was still a fun level but quite glitchy. I especially like the optional boss battles there though. And I will eventually cover them in my MaGMML 2 Let's Play, when I take that out of my hiatus. They will. Oh goody, Lakitu. Unlike Super Mario World, at least we aren't as fragile. By the way, Lakitu has a crazy amount of health, so don't try destroying him. And instead of spawning in spinies, they spawn in explosives. Something else I want to showcase. For the Pokés, if you fire their lower sides, they'll continuously fire these spines at you. I will do the arena in this game. Is it an actual fight or joke fight? Birdo. They are no tread whatsoever. Kumuhmuh almost won, 2nd place. Yeah, for some reason they didn't randomize the levels. That seemed like a glaring omission, so thankfully that's been fixed. Now on to the winner of the MaGMML1 contest. In first place is Glassman by RedBlupi, with a score of 84.2. It says something when the best level in MaGMML 1 has an average score of 84, whereas the best level in MaGMML 2 had an average score over 90. And it's Blackmore Darkwing's favorite level. I understand why the stage got into first place. Great music, great aesthetics, great level design, or at the very least, decent to good level design. It's actually the only entry in MaGMML 1 which has the Roadmaster fight at the end, an entirely custom one. And this stage uses the same musical track as Illusion Man from Mega Man Eternal. These shining mirror glass platforms, they act about the same way as gyro blocks, just a bit bigger. And as this feels the most like a traditional Roadmaster level, I'll go to Buster only. And end up dying anyway. Whoa. I thought that was actually part of the foreground there, sorry. As I said repeatedly throughout my Mega Man Maker LP, and similarly applies to here, this stage has nice introduction and escalation and recombination of gimmicks. And it has its own unique set of gimmicks as well, and enemies. I just wish it took a bit further, as outside of the one or two new enemy types and the bosses, it's more of a standard Mega Man stage. A very good one, but still. It's not like our shots get reflected back at us, and there aren't any illusions. I just wish the stage did more with its glass gimmick, perhaps have a lot more fragile blocks. Sure, go right ahead and guide me, Buster. I'd prefer if you let me know about the secrets after I complete the Wily Fortress levels, unless some of the secrets are in the Wily Fortress itself. Time for Glass Man. Starts off fairly standard, very straightforward pattern, but he starts changing up a bit. And those glass walls will push you back, like the ice wall. And now I've completed all of the entry bosses and stages in this game, which takes me immediately back to Dr. Light's lab, as Dr. Wily has come bursting in. So now we've unlocked access to the Wily Fortress levels. Alright, after Wily Fortress. So the only thing left to do is swap over to the next costume, but I'll be doing that after a short, refreshing pause.